recognizing the dual truth that we need to have a sense of bodily autonomy and a sense of our own consent to have healthy relationships, and we need to recognize that the way that we care for our bodies has an impact on our relationships. And so those are two, at times, challenging truths to hold together. Welcome back to the Experience of We. I'm Matthew.
I'm Naomi.
And we are coming to you with a very special, for us, video called My Body is Our Body Too. And before we get into the the heart of it, we want to state something up front. We believe that bodily autonomy and consent is one of the most important values of our age, of this age of the human experience. Having the capacity for consent over one's life and over one's body feels sacrosanct to us.
It does, and it's something that humanity has been working a long time for, against the forces of its own nature. And some of us have come into in this age. Others of us are still fighting for it. And in the last 20 years, words like consent and boundaries have become popular words, are becoming increasingly so. And we see this as a very needful and important thing, that having a sense of our own bodily autonomy, our ability to choose our own bodily destiny and experience, to assert self-expression through our body, to say no to what we feel a no to. All of these things are so important, not just for personal comfort, but for the very ability to be in relationships at all.
Yeah, and I think it's important to acknowledge that access to bodily autonomy is not absolute and is widely, it is contested in some places and exists across a spectrum on Earth right now. We live in the United States, and so we are having a particular experience of access to our bodily autonomy. People in the Americas, in Africa, in Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East, there is a wide spectrum of access to bodily autonomy, and we're not going to cover all of that today.
Yeah, today we're going to be talking about a very specific developmental stage in our own orientation to our bodily autonomy.
Mm-hmm. And for us, that is recognizing the dual truth that we need to have a sense of bodily autonomy and a sense of our own consent to have healthy relationships, and we need to recognize that the way that we care for our bodies has an impact on our relationships. And so those are two, at times, challenging truths to hold together. I had a previous marriage, for instance, where I advocated and at times fought my previous wife for the right to engage in physically dangerous activities, whether it was extreme sports at times. Extreme sports was a big one.
Yeah, Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder, where I got electrocuted as a natural part of the event.
Got hypothermia.
Got hypothermia.
Yeah.
Also, um, problematic drinking.
Oh,
Problematic drinking. I advocated for my right to drink as I chose, and that at times harmed me and harmed my relationship. And those were two examples of how taking my bodily autonomy, my right to bodily autonomy, to the extreme was potentially harmful to my relationships.
yeah. Yeah, and we were talking about Matthew's previous life partner. And it's true that how we exercise our bodily autonomy impacts all of our relationships. It impacts our friendships, what's possible that we're able to do together depending on where our bodies are at. It impacts our families. People in families who have more vigor and less vigor really impact the dynamics of them. I grew up with parents who had severe physical limitations, both ones that were inherent and inherited, and also ones that were lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Also a lack of embodiment and vigor that were based on what they ate and how they did or didn't engage in strengthening and conditioning and things like that. And it really impacted my sense of safety as a child. It impacted my sense of safety to feel like my parents weren't able to withstand like the need for physical resilience, basically. And so our our choices about how we engage with our bodies impact all of our relationships, the energetic budgets in them, the sense of possibility. And it's a challenging thing to talk about because
Mm-hmm.
so many people, one, have limited physical abilities or non-normative physical abilities that are inherent. And also because, as we were saying, consent and autonomy is really important.
Mm-hmm. But so just kind of writing on you were talking about your parents earlier. I'll just give one example of my biological mother for the moment. But she lived a lifestyle of disordered eating. Um, she would alternate between binge eating and starving herself to like likely to control her weight. We never actually talked about it while she was alive. But I learned it from her. And I also developed a similar pattern of disordered eating, which we'll probably talk about in another episode because Naomi discovered my disordered eating and we had to change that because it was hurting our relationship. And so there was this way in which my biological mother exercised her bodily autonomy to eat and to manage her weight through disordered eating in a way that both impacted her long term well being, which impacted my life and the trajectory of my life. And she passed down the pattern of disordered eating to me, which then impacted my life and my relationships. And so while it's true that my Cheryl, my biological mother, um, needed to have a sense of consent and bodily autonomy, it needed to be coupled with an understanding of how the ways in which she exercised bodily autonomy impacted the people in her lives. And that's what we're seeking to bring to you today. And we had our own
Yeah.
realization about this in our relationship very early on.
Yeah, it was very early on in our relationship in the first year, I think, of living together. And we had an upcoming event. I and then we were leading a group of people organized into what's called a camp at a regional Burning Man event. So basically, this big communal camping thing where we all go and construct a shelter where we host things. Um, and I was leading it, and I needed strong people to help make this event happen. I needed people who could drive cars, which I couldn't, and people who could lift heavy things and put in the manual labor. And this guy is very good at all those things. And so I was counting on Matthew.
Yeah. Yeah. You were counting on me, and you had made it clear, by the way. I want to stress this. Naomi had made it clear that she was counting on me physically for this event, that I was sort of critical infrastructure, if you will,
Yeah.
for making this happen at all. And that it wasn't just for her, there was an entire camp of people that we were responsible for. In addition to that event, Naomi and I were still in a very, very early period of our relationship. And we were exploring our bodies together, exploring sensuality and sexuality together. We won't go deeply into detail, but anyone who's had a new relationship knows that there's this special early period of discovering each other. And we were in that period. And so around that time, I was playing basketball, something I had done for decades. And I injured myself. And specifically, I was diving for a loose ball. I was trying to save a single possession in a game that wasn't ultimately going to mean anything to my life. I wasn't going to make the NBA. I, I, I was a middle-aged man playing a pickup basketball game, and I decided I wanted this ball so badly that I dove for it, and I ended up injuring my shoulder. The first time I'd ever suffered an injury like that after many, many dives for balls. And now I was hobbled for a while in ways that were going to impact my ability to show up and build a camp, to experience each other's bodies in ways that we wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And that I couldn't just undo it, that we were going to have to work around my injury.
Yeah, yeah, totally. And we felt it. We felt it on the day-to-day level.
Mm-hmm.
And so as we were having this experience and watching all of the impacts of it kind of branch out, we realized that Matthew's body wasn't just Matthew's body, that Matthew does have consent and autonomy, and Matthew had consented with his autonomy to be in a new relationship with me and also to build a camp with me.
Mm-hmm.
And wasn't able to show up with his full presence.
Yeah. And so when that happened, we had a conversation. We talked about it, and came to this shared understanding together that the ways in which we take care of ourselves or don't take care of ourselves, when we take risks with our body or our mind, but right now we're going to focus on the body part of it. But like chances we take with our body, the care that we take with our body has an impact on everyone that we're in relationship with, and has an especially strong impact potentially on the people that we are closest to. And it doesn't, not only when someone hurts themselves playing sports, but how we eat, our dental hygiene.
Yeah, huh? Our patterns of sleep or lack thereof.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Our
No. I also had this including, in addition to disordered eating, I had disordered sleeping when I met you.
Yeah, and me too in a different direction.
Yeah.
Whether we strengthen our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't trust my strength when we met, and it impacted a lot of our experience as we tried to have adventures. My lack of trust in my own strength came through.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the holistic treatment of our bodies impacts how much energy we have, how much access we have to metabolically costly things like empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, we came to this realization that we've been really trying to live in our relationship since, that neither of our bodies is just ours, that each of our bodies is a precious host of our relationship experience, of our life trajectory, and of our wider community.
Yeah. The I think the unavoidable conclusion that we came to was that the way that we sleep, the quality of our sleep, the quality of our nutrition, the quality of our self-care, the quality of physical practices that we do to keep our body strong and limber have direct impacts on our ability to show up in relationship. Over the years of our relationship, I have taken disordered sleep and disordered eating and changed them. Right, I now sleep well. I now nourish myself well, and man, I show up differently in relationships.
Yeah.
I was always hangry.
Yes.
I was
Yes, he was like
always
the Hulk, always hangry.
always hangry, and chronically underslept, and it really impacted my ability to be present with people, and to show up in relationships and my work in the way that I wanted to. And so, one of the aspects of the experience of we is being with the recognition that um, our consent, our boundaries, our sense of bodily autonomy is an absolute crucial aspect of any relationship, and the understanding that the way that we care for our bodies has a profound impact on everyone that we are in relationship with. Those understandings need to operate together.
Yes, I resonate.
I appreciate your affirmation. Is there anything that you want to add about this for now?
No, I feel complete.
Cool. Well, so yes. I notice I'm having a moment of awkwardness,
Yeah.
and I'm just gonna name that
Yeah,
to
I think
you,
it's
to the
shared. I'm
audience.
feeling the awkwardness right now
Yeah,
too.
yeah. We didn't know how to end this video.
Yeah, endings are still are still challenging sometimes. This is one of those times.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is one of the challenges of being unscripted is there's no clear conclusion, just a waiting for a sense of completeness.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Or not having anything else come up, which
Yep.
is where I'm at.
All right. Well, I guess we're complete for now.
I guess we're complete for now. We appreciate you joining us.
And we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.